Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, on today's conversation, I'm excited to welcome my good friend, Adam Tomlin. Adam is the host of Act Out Podcast, which I hope that you are subscribe and follow. It's available on all major podcast platforms. I had the honor of being a guest on his show, and now I'm returning the favor because that's what friends do. That's what friends are for. No, you don't hear my voice. But no, that's what we do here. We got to return the favor. So I'm excited to have him on, man. We're gonna talk all things politics, really all things too. Act Out Podcast, right? He's going to be a familiar face you're going to see here on the show, and we want to make sure that you have the proper introduction and know more about Adam as well as his awesome podcast. Like I said, I had the honor of being on the podcast. I had a blast. It was funny because you forget how long, especially like Adam and I, we're very much the same. We are long-winded individuals that we can talk for hours, and it can be damn near 5 days. Wow, 5 days have passed already, and we still haven't even finished the second question. Like that's how we go back and forth. So I'm excited to have him on. Like I said, we're gonna talk some stories that have been going on our news cycle and on the digital airwaves, just kind of giving another take on it. I mean, it is midterm season, so we have some big elections happening. We've had some recent primaries in some other states. And so, we're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna kick back and basically have our conversation recorded in front of all you guys. So that's how the episode's gonna be today. This is, by the way, episode, I want to say 603. That's right, 603. So I appreciate you all taking the time out of your busy schedule. I hope you enjoyed our last conversation when we had on Norfolk Commonwealth attorney Ramin Fadahi, another good friend of mine, who is let me tell you something. He was speaking nothing but the truth when it came to criminal justice reform, ICE, you name it. I mean, hey, Ramin will let you know, hey, I'm a progressive prosecutor for a reason. And I mean, you heard it right there, not just in his tone, but in his with his passion, right? And the policies that they're taking with that. So I hope y'all enjoyed that convo. If you have not tuned in live, hey, it's on demand. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, The Arrington Gavin Show, or you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. As you know, my friends, we drop new episodes weeknights, Monday through Fridays, on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as on via podcast. So again, iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just name a few. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our affiliates, WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's only on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. And then we're going to head over to Sin City. I'm talking about Las Vegas, KSHP 1400 AM or 107.1 FM. You can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Again, that's only on KSHP 1400 AM or 107.1 FM. So when you're on your way to the casino hoping to get lucky, or on your way to support the Las Vegas Aces, right? WNBA team out there, or any squad. I mean, I'm telling you, Las Vegas is continuing to grow as not just the entertainment capital of the world, but also the sporting capital of the world. I mean, when it comes to hockey, football, basketball, soccer, you name it, it is continuing to grow. And but on your way to any event, again, you need to turn your radio dial to KSHP 1400 AM or 107.1 FM. I want to thank our affiliates for allowing us to continue to grow our audience and to just spread the good conversation that we so desperately need. I don't know about you guys, but I am tired of hearing the same old crap on these legacy media outlets. Nothing against, some of the folks that on there, but it's just we get the headlines, we don't get the substance, right? Everything is always you get 5 minutes of it or 3 minutes, or also you got a lot of agendas on certain things too. You don't get that when it comes to shows like myself or Act Out Podcast. You really don't. So we just want to continue to spread the good word, give you great conversation. Also, if you have not done so yet, my friends, subscribe. We have a goal to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So do me a favor, share with family, share with friends, the Arrington Gavin Show, so you can check out past episodes, as well as check out some of our awesome shorts, not shorts. I don't know what shorts is. That's not a word. But our shorts. And then also, when a story occurs, I'm starting to expand more on like doing a recording or just grabbing my phone and sharing my thoughts, off the cuff. And what I do is I record those and I post them on there. And we've been doing pretty decent. Like, for example, which probably Adam and I will discuss a little bit of it. The Great American State Fair whole controversy, right? The boycott somewhat of a boycott that's been going on. As well as Jill Biden recently had a sit down because she's promoting her new memoir, and she spoke about the moment where former President Joe Biden was not stuttering, but he was struggling during the debate between him and Donald Trump at the time. And she had said, well, I thought he was having a stroke. And let me take that off real quick. And she said, I thought he was having a stroke. What's going on? So again, me always having an opinion for something, I said, let me go ahead and, record, share. Let's get it, let's see what the people think about that. So that's just using, examples. That's you're going to get that on our YouTube channel. And lastly, I want to shout out to GOAT vs. TV. GOAT vs. TV. You can check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on their streaming platform as well. If you want to, learn more about GOAT vs. TV, do me a favor. If you are an iPhone user, you can download the app on your iPhone, or if you are an Android, you can go on Google Play Store and download it from there. You can also download it through Roku as well as Amazon Fire TV. So again, we're growing. We're trying to make sure that you have all the options. So if you're saying I need to tune in your show, I've been trying to look for it, where is the Arrington Gavin Show at? I'm like, excuse me, we're everywhere. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Mom, no, I'm joking. My mother supports the show. She knows how to find us. I'm joking. But no, y'all, we love having fun and clowning up here on the show. But I hope you all are doing well today. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening. Shout out to my Knicks as well. As I told you before, we are praying that the Madison Square Garden ban for former Knicks great Charles Oakley will be lifted. James Dolan, who's the owner, please end this ban of a Knicks great. Charles Oakley needs to be front row and watch the greatest team of all times, all right, in the NBA, continue this journey on becoming the next NBA Finals champ. So that's all I'm gonna say in the sports world for that. But what else is new, y'all? I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I think I don't think I have anything else to I've spoken about. And the reason why I'm kind of pausing, because I'm like saying, do I want to? Oh, well, later on, I'll probably, not today, but I don't know which show. I got to see the movie first, because I always love doing a movie review. And I don't know, I might bring on Adam if he's interested. So I love films. I also enjoy the movie Scary Movie, right? That the Wayans directed and created, and they came out with, I believe this is like the sixth or fifth one that just came out. Well, it was the first one in a long time. And so I have yet to see it yet, but when I do, I'm gonna do a review, and we're gonna talk about that, as well as, you know, the whole journey of finding the next 007 is still in the works. We don't know who will be crowned the next 007. I hope they don't ruin it. I really hope so. Because I'll be honest, you know, I'm a Batman fan. I was not a fan of the dude from Twilight when he was, you know, Batman. Robert Pattinson, you know, hey, great actor, good for him. He sucked at Batman. I'm sorry. I'll just say it. It was awful. I didn't like it. It seemed very dark. I mean, I get it. Dark Knight, Batman, he's a dark character, but it just seemed a little darker than usual. For those Batman fans, you can't go from Adam West to Robert Pattinson. Come on. It doesn't make sense. Batman was supposed to be that superhero that, hey, I'm the billionaire, I'm the ladies man, I'm this and that. Man, this Batman recently was like, I don't want to be bothered by nobody, not even by freaking, I don't know, Ladybug. Like, I mean, he seemed like he didn't want to be bothered by even like by anybody. And I'm like, I hope they don't ruin this, because sometimes it's hard to keep momentum and it's hard to stay great with the, you know, with the character and stuff. And I get it, you know, Christian Bale can't do it forever. Michael Keaton can't do it forever. Right. It's difficult. It's difficult. But enough of my ranting, y'all. Look, as I mentioned earlier, you're in for a treat. I got my good friend waiting diligently backstage, Adam Tomlin, host of Act Out Podcast. What we're going to do now, we're going to take a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, we'll be right back after more with the Arrington Gavin Show.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're going to bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
6'10", number 1 pick, 16 seasons, college player of the year, all-rookie standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. We're going to bring on our guest, my buddy, good friend, Mr. Adam Tomlin, host of the Act Out podcast. Adam, how you doing, my friend?
Arrington, I couldn't be doing any better if I just hit a grand slam in the third period of the Super Bowl, my friend.
Whoa! Man, that's
about
a good
you?
feeling right there. Man, I can't complain. I'm enjoying life right now. Well, I've always enjoyed life, but I'm having fun. Weather's great. Like I said, Knicks are in the finals. And as of right now, we're doing all right. I know by the time our listeners and viewers tune into this, it'll be difference in the series. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully we just stay on that, keep that momentum going. But yeah, man, I can't complain, man. I appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule to come here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As I mentioned with the audience earlier, I had the opportunity of being a guest on your podcast, the Act Out podcast, which is hosted by you, Adam Tomlin. If you don't mind, Adam, kind of take us back on the genesis of Act Out podcast. Where did, first of all, the name Act Out podcast? Where did the name, and why did you want to pursue and start this journey as join the podcast world?
Well, as far as why is it the Act Out podcast, it's because the defining issue of our time is who has opportunity. Right now, we are in a system where all the power, all the money, and all the influence is in the hands of a very select group of people.
Yeah.
And so what that does is it creates an environment to where there is a whole lot of opportunity over here if you have enough money, to the point where it's not even an opportunity anymore. It's a guaranteed result. It doesn't matter if you're talented or if you work hard. If you have enough money, you're going to succeed. And so what that means on the other end for, folks like me and you and, everyone that's listening, we are fighting for fewer and fewer opportunities. And one of the kind of the symptoms of that is that in this kind of environment, you are having to work for somebody else's dreams and somebody else's happiness. So in a system like that, if you are living for yourself, if you are pursuing your own happiness, that's acting out. And that is certainly what I want my podcast to advocate for. And plus, my initials are ACT.
Okay, duh. It was very easy. Didn't take long for that. No, man, but you're absolutely right. And I mean, I applaud you for starting a podcast and speaking light to that. Speaking up for that, because it's interesting how those same individuals that will get these passes because of wealth, they're the same individuals that complain about DEI, complain about diversity, complaining about folks from underprivileged communities getting provided an opportunity to possibly live a better life, or to change that not just stigma, but to change the way their family journey has always been, right? This, that, like, no, we're trying to break the cycle. So I applaud you for that, but I just also think it's comical because those same folks, like you had mentioned, the team of money, right? And you can say the good boy system, right? The good old boy system.
Yeah, very much so.
They will always support each other, but they're like, oh, well, let's keep the lower class, let's keep the small people like there beneath us, and then keep it moving from there. I mean, we see it with the whole the CBS debacle, or Paramount. I'll just say that for Paramount. Paramount now is being run by the Ellisons, father, son, who are multi-billionaires, very close with Donald Trump. And Paramount owns CBS News, which also they also might have some ownership in CNN very soon. So they're going to be owning a lot of new. Their goal is trying to buy the media narrative. And so that being said, you see a lot of veteran journalists, folks who have been, a journalist, not an agenda-based journalist, no, a true journalist, being either let go or they've decided to, like, you know what, even come on, people from 60 Minutes are getting fired.
Right. I was about to say that Scott Pelley, like he is the most like down the middle journalist you can possibly be. And he somehow has come out looking like a radical just because he's like, hey, we're kind of running this into the ground. Let's go back to fact-based reporting.
Let me tell you something. When I started seeing guys like him, like there's a gentleman from ABC News that was there for years, Terry Moran. I know he was let go, or he decided to leave. I mean, it's pretty sad if you think about it. And I mean, all for what? Because a petty individual wants to get back on people that he felt disrespected. Like, it's insane.
It is absolutely insane, but I think it also shows like a bit of opportunity for folks like you and me, where now the power is the power for journalism is starting to trickle down, and you're seeing a whole lot of like internet content creators and independent folks that are coming up and making a name for themselves by just busting their butt and covering news stories that traditional news outlets won't cover. So yeah, I mean it sucks, and the part of me that wants that the Walter Cronkite kind of like, oh my God, the president's dead, or so whatever, like that. I think that that's kind of from a bygone era. That
I think that's been that's been gone for a while. And I mean, and I can't front. There are such thing as news outlets that have agendas, right? And I'm me when what my stance.
Looking at you, Fox News.
I think I see them, on both sides. I mean, I think for sure. Well, they're MS now, but they used to be MSNBC. MSNBC very much had a outlet of being more left than than center or right. CNN, when it first started, it was CNN really started off as being more centrist. I think they're trying to come back on that centrist wing.
I think Jake Tapper is gunning for a shot in the Trump administration. Really,
Jake is it's hard to read Jake. Like, Jake grifts sometimes. I think sometimes he'll be very much so against, then he'll be more on this side. I mean, I'm just like this. Just line who you want to line up. That's why I've always, and my listeners probably don't care when I say this, but I've never had an issue with Stephen A. Smith. I've kind of understood the playing field where he comes from, at least as an independent thinker. Like, I always think of myself as an independent thinker. I'm not married to any party, so I'm gonna always ask questions, and I don't want to be criticized if I ask the question and say, well, I think that's a just rhetorical question to ask. Now, would I ever defend the administration? If it's something defending, like if it's worth defending for something, because I do think that they pick a fight just to pick a fight. I try to give the benefit of doubt to this president, but he's always like, there was a clip that I played a while back on the show where he cannot. I would love to make a bet of when he never says, I bet you Biden couldn't do that. I bet you Obama couldn't do that. I bet you this couldn't. Like, he's always doing these. I bet you that. I'm like, it's so old and tiring. We know you don't like him. We know you. He's like, why does it always have to be about you? Kind of thing. But we about to say, Adam.
No, with Trump, it's absolutely ridiculous how thin his skin is. And one of the things that just irritates me.
Well, when you burn it 24/7 to stay, golden. I mean, it's gonna eventually peel off. No, I'm joking.
I don't know what color he technically is, like that orange Fanta, maybe like Cheeto. I don't know if he identifies as
more of a
Cheeto,
Miami
maybe.
Hurricane orange hint with a
But it's so pathetic. Like, man, all right. I think on my my personal social media, I never post anything. I have like maybe like 50 followers or something. If I were to post right now, Donald Trump sucks and is stupid, he would be so infuriated with that he would probably respond. Which is not
on True Social. On his True Social, probably.
Yes, on True Social. It's so to say like, hey, during the campaign, people were like, Kamala, she may be a little too emotional. Yeah, women tend to be a little too emotional. And then you got Trump, who will make every single decision based on an impulse over who made him mad last. It's just it's sad to watch.
It is. I mean, hey, I've always thought it was insane when he first won. Personally, I really did. Yeah. I think most of Americans, you had Americans that were voting based on curiosity. You had those that voted based on celebrity fans, from The Apprentice, and then you had some that truly just was like, he's the true American dream. He's the billionaire with the young wife. He says what he wants to say. He's saying stuff that we have been holding in for so long, and now he's saying it out loud. So boom, he has my vote, and it has grown to really be a new party because we've said it. I mean, you and I, we have folks in our family that are Republicans, and now and I would say old school, right? Old school, Republicans. There's a huge disconnect between MAGA.
I've got some MAGA too.
You got some MAGA.
Oh yeah, man. I'm from the South, buddy. The rural South.
I know a handful. I don't consider them family. I got like maybe a small pinch of MAGA in the fam, but I come from a old school, conservative Democratic, upbringing. We have obviously our old school Republicans as well. Your Colin Powell Republicans, your Michael Steele Republicans. But
though, that's fun. You can have debates with folks like that. Those are policy differences. With Trump, it is about values. And you can't debate on values because those are non-negotiables.
Well, and it almost seems like a mafia-based kind of mentality. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Absolutely.
It's just when I think about some of these, when I think about some of these recent primaries, like you have folks that because they disagreed with him on maybe just 3% of the stuff that they have. They're off with their head. They need to be gone. Be gone. I'm voting for the next, for the challenger. I mean, it's like, are you saying that they can't live in a world where we can't disagree with person in our own party? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's insane.
That's what happens whenever you give a malignant narcissist the keys to the Oval Office. You gave him the most powerful position in the world, and his head thinks that he is the most powerful man in the world. And so because of that, he has a very short-sighted decision-making process. It is solely based on if he gets upset or not, because literally any kind of negative feeling for him is a threat to his identity. So he is going to lash out immediately as soon as he feels anything even remotely, like uncomfortable. And it is not. It doesn't lead to a stable environment to run a country.
Not at all. Adam, now look, we can easily agree on how much we can't stand this administration. but I do have to bring up too. Let's give a little credit. This is the second time winning the presidency. Like. Hey, touche. But in all honesty, look, this is the second time in the White House, and on top of that, this man with no political experience whatsoever did the impossible. Like he beat a qualified someone that has been in politics. I'm talking about his very first win. Like he beat Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, who was Secretary of State, she was the former First Lady. She has been in politics majority of her life. Trump was somebody that was inherited money, right? Became this, prolific, well, I wouldn't say prolific, but he became this public figure, and he won. Like he won. And then to top it off, he won again. And again, beating another qualified, lady. Is it more the fact that he really was like what America wants, or did the Democratic Party fumble the bag not once but twice when it came to strategy? If it, because at least for the second time Trump won, I had been bashing the Democratic Party, and just because it was more, and again, my listeners know, I mean, I ride in the middle. I'm an independent. I like I said, I vote on person, not party. This right here frustrated me so much because as a business owner, I look at strategy. I'm like, okay, elected officials, candidates in general, they're a product. They're trying to sell a product to the voters. If they win over the voters, boom, I got to vote. So they're selling a product. The Democratic product, at least for the second time, was a person who can clearly put out a sentence. They didn't speak up and say, well, no, I think we need to, because I get tired of seeing all the tell-all books from former staffers, now the first lady saying, I think was he almost having a stroke? Like, excuse me, don't tell us this now. Right, don't tell us now. Like, why was this told ahead? And now it looks sloppy for Democratic voters to be like, wow, okay, so they're not making up their mind. They're just giving the gavel to Kamala Harris. They're giving her 107 days to run a presidential race. I mean, it was just I mean, should the Democratic Party get more of the blame than just saying, well, Trump just won and people voted for him? Like, what's your your take on it? And for both terms, you can go for the first time or the second time.
Multiple things can be true, but as far as whether Trump is this like great savant or not, I'm kind of reminded of this story that I read in middle school, where it was this like big general that was coming up for a parade, and like the narrator is in the audience, and they're like looking in amazement at this general, and they're like, there were so many victories that this guy had, and so he starts talking to the guy next to him, like, oh man, that he was so amazing, and guys like, okay, well, that first battle, the sun was in the opponent's eyes, and he was able to win that way. The second time, all the opponent's guns were jammed, and and so every single battle that was won, it was like, yeah, but he had a whole lot of luck on his side. So he's really just a bumbling fool to a certain extent. That being said, Trump has a superpower at channeling anger and fear. He can get that. And so what this is
almost like taking advantage of the vulnerable. Like if someone is already in a very vulnerable state, they're like, okay, bet let's take advantage of that. Because I'm a pause what you just say. Continue doing what you're doing, but I'm gonna kind of put a note in my head because there's another election that I like to talk a little later on. But continue your point that you were making.
I kind of forgot where I was.
Oh no, you're fine.
No, but with Trump,
people being vulnerable.
Channeling the anger and fear. Yeah. So that being able to channel anger and fear is step one. Step two is to say, hey, now here is our solution. This is what we can do to get better. Okay, that is what you should do. What Trump does, though, it says, here's all this anger and fear. It's the black and brown people's fault. It's their fault that you're not this way. And so instead of giving you a solution, he gives you a scapegoat. And folks who who've been, in like these rural communities that have been hurt indirectly by governmental policies, they're looking around, they're like, hey man, like like I didn't have a whole bunch of opportunity. Like I didn't have this privilege thing. Like I've worked hard. It's not fair. Like it's got to be somebody's fault. And so that kind of message can be very powerful to that kind of kind of vulnerable person.
And it's unfortunate because we've known, and we've had the conversations, behind the scenes, prior, just hanging out, and we've noticed that division now is very profitable, and you see now where book bannings, right? African American studies taken away from universities, high schools, because the excuse is, well, we don't want our children to feel bad about, first and foremost, they were not there. They shouldn't feel bad. Look, hell, everybody should feel bad. That's, if you have a heart, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I feel bad that those folks had to go through that. But to say, well, I don't want my kids to feel like no, like it's insane. And whenever the race is being brought up, all people just want to shun it, this and that and the other. And it's unfortunate because the more the more you grow. I look at it like that. I think we should, it's a privilege to live in this country where it's a melting pot of different cultures, religions, nationalities, and things. It is so much. So why not learn about different cultures? Like people get so frustrated where it's like, okay, look, today we're gonna celebrate the Asian American culture, or today we're gonna celebrate, it's like, why is that an issue? Why is that always an issue? For example, and then I'll kind of conclude from this, but for example, Congressman out of Texas, Wesley Hunt, a black conservative, is only but four blacks. It's only but four blacks it's only but four black conservatives in Congress as of right now. All of them are going to be out because Wesley Hunt, he was running for U.S. Senate in the primary, lost very poorly. Byron Donalds running for governor in Florida. Out in Utah, Burgess Owens, he's retiring from Congress. And then there's a gentleman, I think John James, he's a congressman out of Michigan running for governor. So you when they bring up like, hey, look, is it, are you, I wouldn't say frustrated, but he was asked a question in regards to how in his party there's really no diversity. There's none. There's not a lot. He's like, no, I don't look at this. I don't look at that. We have we're living a much better life than years back. Yada, yada, yada. And they get so offended. I'm just like, chill. If I worked in an environment, I would love to. And diversity doesn't always have to mean complexion. It can mean diversity of thought, diversity of diversity is everywhere. So I just think moments. And then you got Tim Scott, the only solo black senator in the U.S. Senate. God bless his soul, because he has kissed so much.
A Republican senator.
A Republican senator. Yes. He has kissed up so much to Trump many times, yet he has never gotten a job in the White House at all. But he knows South Carolina always has his back, because he's always going to have that, in the case.
So personally, I don't feel called out whenever I hear that slavery was terrible and had awful repercussions that are still being felt today. I did not just hear, Adam Tomlin, you're a horrible person and you're responsible for all that suffering. But what I did hear, though, is that I am a part of a system, and the government that I have to pay taxes to had policies and federal law, like it was written in their law to harm a certain group of people. And so that is why there is a difference between that's why DEI and affirmative action is not only okay, but it is necessary. It is to right an injustice that the government blatantly did. So until that can be addressed and we actually have parity to where hopefully it would be amazing. Like my goal one day, affirmative action, DEI doesn't even need to be a thing. That is my goal. Like I would love for that to be the case, but right now it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important for folks that look like me and sound like me Well, as an aspiring entertainer, hopefully nobody sounds like me.
I was
but,
about to say, pushing it there, Adam, pushing it.
But maybe folks that have the accent like me too. If I think it's important for us to step up and be like, hey, this is wrong, and we've got to step up, and we've got to be pro diversity, and not just not racist, but anti-racist.
Hey, amen to that, man. And to close this conversation, I would want to say, folks have to realize we were this close by witnessing a $1.77 billion anti-weaponization fund slush fund to folks that broke the law. That was going to be their reparation. Okay, that was going to be theirs. Yet for so many years, my people in my culture have speaking about reparations. Yet it's like, oh no, none of that. But this one, the president was like trying to rush and get this. It shouldn't have made that far. So, I mean, to Adam's point, absolutely right. It is very necessary, and I would love to see it not be in existence either, because then it's like, okay, we've done the work, we've improved, we've grown, but hey, that's not reality for us. But I want to move on to some races, man, specifically California, because California has just been, I've been speaking a lot about California on this show. It's really been catching my attention because you have two big races happening there. It's big races happening all over, but they have just been catching my attention for the most part. You have a governor's race where you have you start off having a congressman, Eric Swalwell, who was destined to be not only the Democratic nominee, but also possibly the next governor. Like, he was a shoo-in win, and then scandals hit. It ruined his chances on winning. It also hurt his chances even serving in the House. Now you have individuals, new up and coming people coming up to the plate. Tom Steyer was, a billionaire, ran for president, and he was running for governor. Xavier Becerra, who was a former HHS secretary under the Biden administration. Katie Porter, the congresswoman. And then you had two mayors. I'm blanking on their names, but they have dropped the race. Kind of fast forward, and you also had two Republicans, Sheriff Chad Bianca and Steve Hilton, Fox News contributor. And so fast forward, we have seen, California is extremely liberal. That is the bluest state, I think, in the United States, personally. But we're seeing now Democrats kind of struggle in California. So on the governor's race, they're wrestling with, is it Becerra? Is it Steyer? Because they're not in favor of Katie Porter, who I think recently dropped out because they just had their primaries, and it's right now Xavier Becerra has succeeded that position, and I think he was in the top. It was a top. They use like a system called like the top two system.
It's kind of a jungle primary. Everybody,
jungle primary. Yep. And so I think it's right now is going to be between him and Steve Hilton, or Stephen Hilton, who's a Republican. And I've said this on the show. Look, I could be wrong. I've been wrong on it numerous of times, but I think California will see their next Republican governor since Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've said that out for a while. You
think Hilton's got it?
I do, and the reason why is because I hear this from a lot of folks that live in the area. You have had Democratic leadership for the longest, and you've also had a lot of residents complain for the longest. In a sense, it's like, okay, look, you can either continue to have this kind of a similar administration, continue on, maybe even Becerra continue what Gavin Newsom's doing, or you say, hey, look, Steve Hilton ran this. I think it's the second time running for governor. He lost behind, I think, when Larry Elder was like the nominee. This was a while back, but why not say, okay, let's see what Steve Hilton has to play, and if he fumbles a bag, well, then hey, look, they know. I mean, look, Virginia is a perfect example. Virginia has always been kind of like back and forth with our governors. We've either had we've either did Republican, Democrat, or Democrat, Republican again. I mean, we've always kind of said, okay, look, let's see how they'll do. Let's see how they do. Let's see how they do. I mean, again, in California, for the most part, has been Democratic. So it's just California, man, is it's expensive. You got wildfires. I think this recent wildfire really took a toll. I mean, hell, you see why Spencer Pratt is kind of like leading,
right? Yeah,
and I'll definitely talk on to that. But in regards to the governor's race, have you been reading up or on that?
So you're kind of giving me like, hey, let's talk about these. So like yesterday was the first time I really got in and did like a deep dive. I have ADHD, so I was able to like actually really do the dive though. What I think, first of all, I've been to California one time in my life, and sometimes I identify as California sober. So I feel like I'm an expert to talk on this. But I think that like if you haven't been to California, you don't realize how freaking huge it is.
It's massive.
I think like if it were a country, it would be like that. I think it would have like maybe the 8th largest economy, something like that. It may have been, may have changed by now, but it is very, very difficult to become famous there as a politician. So you're Javier Becerra, and like folks like that, and like the mayors that you're talking about, who like I said I did a deep dive. I like didn't even think to memorize their names or anything. Like those folks, nobody's gonna like know who they were. Like you kind of have to have a national profile, like the Eric Swalwell or the Katie Porter. And so whenever they got taken out, it sort of became a free-for-all within the Democratic Party, and Republicans were able to kind of take advantage of that, especially Hilton. What I thought was very, very fascinating. So I kind of looked at the Becerra. Is it Becerra or Becerra?
I think Becerra. It's Xavier. I know his first name is Xavier.
I thought it was Javier. But with those two, it is very clear that Mr. X is
perfect. There we go.
Has placed himself as the anti-Trump. I am going to make sure that Trump knows that he can't disobey the Constitution in California. And that is a powerful message.
Yeah.
Tom Steyer had. I watched a few of his ads. Now he got the same team that did Mom Donnie's ads. He hired them for his ads, and I mean, man, he has some fancy ads. The only problem is he stars in them. But for him, man, he has an amazing pitch, and that is utilities are too high, and that is because the utility companies are a monopoly. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there, bust up the monopoly, and create competition. That is a very good argument. Here's the issue with that. Bro is a monopoly.
Yeah.
He has spent over $150 million of his own money to play these ads. So the reason why I know about these ads and the reason why I had the Mom Donnie's team is because I think ever since he announced that he was running for governor, he has been blanketing the airwaves with all of these commercials, and there's just there's a little bit of a disconnect between the message and the messenger.
Absolutely,
and I think that kind of makes folks hesitate. So I wouldn't be so. Actually, I looked right before we got on, and Becerra, or Mr. X is going to go to the runoff, or has made it to the general election. So it's going to be either he's either going to go against Hilton or Steyer, and I think it's looking like Hilton for right now.
Okay, and you know what? I think because I mentioned Steyer ran for president prior, I think in general, this my take. I don't think billionaires is smart enough to. I don't think it's smart to have a billionaire run for anything right now, just in general. But California being such a wealthy state, I don't think that's a slight turnoff for them. Even though they do have like some they have some folks that are hurting financially in the state of California. I just think seeing a billionaire take office is like, okay, that's kind of the norm in California, but not for the majority. Also with him using Mom Donnie's team that did his commercials, yeah, it makes sense because again, New York City extremely blue, California extremely blue. So I get it, you know, how it flows with that. You know what Becerra under the Biden administration, are Democrats really pursuing somebody from the, even though, hey, he is not like he was Biden himself, but okay, I don't know. I feel like the Democratic Party is trying to rebuild and rebrand, and it's like, oh, you have the Biden name on you. I don't know. Yeah. I don't. And that's the only reason why I just think it will be because look, these numbers was really. I saw a recent polling not too long ago, and it was like, I think Becerra might have had 29 or 28, and Hilton had 27. Like it was very, like, it was pretty close. Now Hilton, again, being the Trump endorsed candidate, that's obviously not going to be panning out for Californians. Also, the fact that he has never put out a clear answer if Joe Biden won the election. We're still talking about that to this day, and it's like, jeez. What are we doing? He's on that My Pillow guy mode, the Mike Lindell. Like, I mean,
Mike Lindell, yeah, dude. Mike Lindell got owned by a 10-year-old in a debate, man. It was, and
he's running for governor in Minnesota right now. So I'm like, all righty then. So it's a lot, but that's one race that I know is definitely going to be catching the eyes of a lot of folks. And I'm looking at my time, so I'll read this one really quickly. The mayoral race, the Los Angeles mayoral race between Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt, who was a reality star from the show called The Hills. He was a head case on the show. He was a head case
in real life.
A head case in real life. But he became somewhat of a star to the vulnerable, right? Because he also lost his house in the wildfires. A lot of folks in California and in Los Angeles had lost their home. And once again, they're like, hey, who do we point the fingers at? Leadership. We've had Democratic leadership for the longest. And, Karen Bass, there was an occasion when there were, and I forget exactly why she made the trip. And I think she's spoken out saying she regrets it, but she went out of town while the fires where folks were either still recovering. And like I said, she regrets because I think, it's all about timing, right? It's like, is this the right time for you to be going?
Right.
And it's going to be added on. It's going to come back to haunt you eventually. Karen Bass is also a former congresswoman that served California as well. Then, after her years in the House, she became the mayor. I think that it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I think Karen might. It's really hard because a lot of folks really in California, they want new faces, and Spencer is getting some support from Hollywood elites, Hollywood stars. There's Kelsey Grammer's Republican. Spencer Pratt's Republican, but Kelsey Grammer, Billy Bush, I know spoke out about him saying, which Billy's crazy as hell. He made this statement. Well, no, because he said Spencer Pratt is the last person we've seen that had a journey or a boost like Spencer Pratt. His name was Barack Obama. I'm like, you're not about to.
Do not do that, good sir. No, I just got offended.
I like it when he said that. I'm like, what in the world? But I will say though, Spencer Pratt is hitting the feelings of a lot of people because he was one of them, and it could be, he could capitalize on this race.
Spencer. So I wasn't a reality show guy growing up, and
same here. Neither am I.
I didn't really like. I had heard that like Spencer Pratt, and it was just an idiot, and that was that was all I'd really heard of him. So I was kind of wondering what his appeal was. So I went on his social media and started watching some of his ads, and I get why he is so entrenched into this race. He is running a social media campaign, and his ads are designed for social media. They're very flashy. They got the quick cuts and the money, and he's he's charismatic enough to keep your attention.
Yes.
And he is just like Trump, very good at being like, hey, like there was the wildfires. It was Karen's problem, or it was Karen's bad. There's homeless people everywhere. and that's because homeless people are bad and they're awful. We need to set them up and put them in camps. So, along with the, like with the ICE folks.
Yeah.
So he's got his villainized group that he can point at. And so I can't stand him. With Karen Bass, I almost feel like I have a little bit of sympathy for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with the wildfires and also with the Trump administration, like like erroneously just like releasing all the water, like last year during the wildfires unnecessarily. I'm sure that had something to do with with the issue there. So there's that, and then there's also the fact that LA is based on Hollywood.
Yeah.
And Hollywood is an industry town that is dying.
Very much so. Very much so. Everybody's moving to Texas or Nevada. I know I remember reading a story about Wahlberg moving to Nevada for that, for that reason, starting a company out there. So yeah, they're leaving.
Yeah, man. So there are a lot of there are factors that are outside the power of the mayor that the mayor is kind of being, that's been dumped on the mayor's shoulders. So there's I have a little bit of sympathy there. I am curious whether so I know that Karen Bass she has made the general election, and it's either going to be Spencer Pratt or there's a
councilwoman. I'm blanking on her name.
Raman?
Yes.
Raman, I think. Raman.
Yep. Last name Raman. Yep.
Yeah. So she is running to the left of Mayor Bass.
Mm-hmm.
And so her and Spencer Pratt, I think she's maybe like, the last I saw was maybe like 5 points behind him. But there's enough outstanding votes that she may be able to surpass him and make the general election. But if Councilwoman Raman doesn't make the general election, I could very easily see a Mayor Pratt in November.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Well, look, we're coming to a close. Don't go anywhere because I want to chop it up with you just for a little bit after this program. But for those who want to continue to follow you, support your podcast, how can they stay in touch and stay engaged with everything you got going on?
The Act Out Podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you get your podcast from. We're also on social media. I think I don't run it. My wife does. It's
a family affair. I love it.
Yes. So make sure you follow us on socials. Hopefully, it will be hanging out with Arrington more because man, this has been a blast.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Like I said, we could talk for hours and hours, and we got some stuff in the works, folks. So we'll keep you guys posted with that. But you're going to be seeing a lot of Adam and myself having conversations in regards to just stories happening across our airwaves on digital, on our televisions as well, and we're gonna have some fun too. So stay tuned for that. Adam, I appreciate you guys. Adam Tomlin, host of Act Out Podcast. Be sure to follow, subscribe. Adam, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna chop it up with you just for a couple seconds to hold tight. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, my friends. Yet another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, follow, and support my good friend Adam Tomlin. The Act Out Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. Follow on Instagram and all the streaming and social media platforms. And of course, follow and subscribe to the Arrington Gavin Show as well. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, and please stay informed. We got some big races happening this midterm cycle. I will talk to you soon. Peace and blessings. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold. stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.